And we're back, baby.
Hello, hi, hello.
Chicago's gotten their first win, boys.
Hello, Chicago.
Chicago's on the map.
Fantasy gods.
So,
It's been a been a rough 5 days for the Manders.
yeah, they
So, do we remember that funny video with Steve Smith Sr. when he went to Carolina and asked Cam Newton if he should start him? And then at the end, he looked at him and he said, "You give me 2 points, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you." He just remembered that, and he's like, "Steve Smith is still out there," and he just dropped 50, and that's what it was. Thanks, Steve Smith.
I do remember that.
That's the funniest. I love seeing that video when it pops up. And then just at the end, I'll smack shit out of you. Just like, because you know he will. Steve Smith, you know he says that he's gonna do it. Like he'll smack you for less.
But yeah, Chicago got a huge win at the Manders. They got that win on the road. Phil just thrown 8 TDs in the past 5 days.
Yep.
DJ Moore had a game.
DJ Moore had a fucking game, alright.
I'll say this, you gotta feel very optimistic if you're the Bears, right? Like, Fields is doing it through the air. Like, it's not the greatest deal, but he's doing it through the air. DJ Moore looks like a true number one.
Well, yeah, he made some really good throws. I mean, he's not the greatest at quarterback, and there's a lot to work with, but he made some throws yesterday that was really nice. Like the last touchdown to DJ when he high pointed it and just let him go up for it and gave him a shot.
They shipped off Chase Galladay.
You know what it was? Why they won? They got rid of the curse, Chase Claypool.
Yeah, Chase
I was gonna say,
Galladay.
yeah,
Yeah,
for news and
Chase is
notes.
terrible. And
Chase
he
Claypool.
just went to Miami, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that's scary.
Claypool to Miami. Well, did you hear what the coach said about getting Claypool?
Probably not.
He's like, oh, I know he's fast.
Speed.
Yeah,
Yep.
speed.
And that's all Miami looks for, and that's what he wants.
Tyreek
So.
Hill said, Chase Claypool, I like it. I was like, why?
I mean, look, I think it's the same way as if you can keep him focused on football, I think it could be very dangerous. But that's the thing in Chicago was he was very not committed.
Right, and now he has a chance to be on a team that's fighting for something and not just fighting for the number one pick. So.
Well,
and it's a good decoy. Somebody who's fast, who's 6'4", running down the field, opens up a little bit for Tyreek.
Yeah. I mean, there was a point where Chicago was not only fighting for the number 1 pick, they were fighting for the number 2 pick overall, too.
Yeah, no, they're fighting for the 1 and 2, which was crazy because you're getting Marvin Williams and Caleb. Well, Caleb is going back to USC.
Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison?
Yeah. Yeah, Marvin Harrison definitely should go, top 3. If anyone lets him slip, that's crazy.
Yeah,
we've seen what his dad was.
Kind of just depends on the teams that end up at the top. We'll probably see.
Regardless where he goes, he's gonna be amazing.
If a team like the Manders is up there, it's deadly obvious that you need to draft O-line.
Don't worry, the Cardinals are up there. They'll definitely take them.
If the Cardinals are there, that's a team that should definitely draft O-line.
I don't know. Caleb Williams is a once-in-a-generational QB.
Okay, no. This is saying if Caleb... I'm talking Harrison. Caleb Williams goes 1, no matter who's 1.
Caleb Williams only said there's 5 teams that he'll play for, which I just want to see how that plays out because you don't really get a choice.
Yeah,
you can't just say I'm not going to play for you.
Eli did it.
Yeah.
Eli did it. Got traded.
Eli did do it.
Eli did it.
You could get traded if someone's willing to give up, or you're just going to be sitting there. So.
Well, and it's something and I don't want to get too much into for the college season ends, but you get paid in college now, so he could go back and be.
He already said he wants to go back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As far as him saying
NIL deals,
he could go back. That's theoretically possible.
Oh yeah, no, he's right. He will make more. So, but it's the same teams are going to be there next year. So,
But go ahead.
I
And the
don't see
argument-
Dallas or San Fran being at the bottom.
But the argument that like you get drafted to a shit team, so you're still always going to be shit, isn't really. I mean, Joe Burrow turned Cincinnati around to a Super Bowl contender.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Caleb Williams is supposed to be better than that. Like
Yeah.
he's supposed to be the Mahomes, Brady, Rodgers type.
Well, Mahomes went late first.
Yeah, no,
Brady
Mahomes was
didn't
a
go
late
in the
pick.
first, and Rodgers
He
went
was a
up
pick.
in like mid first. Like we know Caleb's going first. Like
Yeah, he's
draft
definitely
prospect wise, this is like the first him since Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
And that's I was gonna say where you go matters. Like,
oh no, it does really, like, in a way. So I mean, especially for your receivers and.
I thought Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be a him also. I mean, I did a bunch of hype. They're calling the next Tom Brady.
Around,
well,
no, he ain't the next.
That's what
Tom
people.
Brady.
No, I'm
He's
saying
good.
that's what people were calling him though. So I was like, he was probably the last him to come out.
Sickening.
Trevor. No, Trevor's my boy. He's doing good things, and Jacksonville has not looked great this year, but they're gonna turn it around. You know, he went to a history.
They're
that's,
building.
You know,
they're building something
he's
there.
Changing
they have
the
something.
culture. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who gets the number one. Like, you know, I don't know who Caleb would want that to be.
I think Caleb would like to go to the Falcons.
Oh, dude, I don't.
Caleb,
Here's the thing.
San Fran, Oakland, Cowboys.
Why would anyone want to go to Oakland?
Yeah, no one wants to go to Oakland. Don't ever say that again.
There was two other teams, and he's like, "That's all I'll play for." And it's
I'm
like,
looking.
well,
it's because it's in Vegas. I mean, Vegas is just a hot spot to play sports right now.
Makes
no,
sense.
it really is.
Yeah, even with the fucking
and you still got Devontae Adams there for I don't know how many years he signed, but yeah, at least a few more years, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he's got to think 2 or 3 more years there, unless they trade him.
Yeah, but all the culture there is fucking awful right now.
I don't.
No, they definitely agree on that.
I don't think they'll be bad enough to get the number 1 pick.
They might. They might.
No. For chaos reasons, I would love to see the Jets get the number 1 pick.
That would be if Caleb Williams went to the Jets. That would be pretty fucking scary.
I just would like to see how that would work with Rodgers on the roster and everything.
Oh yeah, you split Caleb, have Rodgers 1 more year, mentor the kid, and then Rodgers retires, and you got.
In theory, you know, but I just think all the drama surrounding that would be.
We're gonna have to do a college podcast.
Absolutely hysterical to see. As far as like options that I think would theoretically work, honestly, I don't think they'll be. I mean, they could be. They've looked terrible. I wouldn't mind seeing the Giants up there. I think putting him with Dayball would be.
No, Danny Dimes.
I've watched Danny Dimes for 5 weeks since he's got that contract, and he is not. Looks like he does not live up to that contract.
It's hard to live up to that contract when you're
the weapons.
A lot of it is having no weapons.
It's the O-line. But I mean, last year this team won like 11 games, and I'm not seeing any of that out of them.
Yeah, it's because the roster's not there.
Be interesting to see if Carolina moved off of Young after 1 year. Don't really care about that though.
They would not move after. They would not move off of Young after 1 year. They would draft Marvin Harrison first or trade out of it.
Yeah.
I would imagine they would trade out of it. And
getting a number 1 wide receiver wouldn't be a bad idea though.
Minnesota would be wild, but I think they're gonna win some games. Not this.
Did y'all see what Colin Cowherd said about it?
What?
That the Pittsburgh Steelers should trade whoever has number 1 overall pick, George Pickens, T.J. Watt, in the next 3 years of their first-round pick to draft Caleb Williams.
No.
I mean, it would be interesting. It would be a move, that's for sure.
Colin Cowherd is not a smart man.
Good at drafting outside linebackers.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to draft the outside linebacker when all 3 of your first-round picks are gone for the next couple years.
Well, they just said Pittsburgh's just really well known for drafting just those guys, even if they're not first rounders. Like, if I want to do it, just because TJ Watt you got for quite a few more years.
And you have Pickens for a few more years too.
All I'll say is like, if you're making a move like that, you've got massive balls, and you better pray that he lives up to every inch of the hype.
Yeah, because if he doesn't, you're getting your ass fired.
And if you draft him, you draft O lineman afterwards so he don't get killed back there.
Yeah, if you do a move like that and it doesn't work out, Caleb Williams will be hated by everyone at Pittsburgh.
It's because
it would be
I say that because the Steelers have not gotten O line right for what, 4 or 5 years now.
Since we basically lost the cash reel.
Oh, since Mr. Canada came in.
Oh, it's been longer than Canada.
Okay.
Canada's helped though.
Yeah,
don't worry.
It was a few years before that.
Okay, so yeah, since DeCastro, did he retire or did he leave?
No, he retired as Steeler.
No. He got released because of too much injury problems, and I don't think any team took him on.
Because probably of those injury
he's
problems.
still signing free agency.
It was like something with his back or something like that.
Well, I'll say right now, it's really hard to kind of predict who's gonna be in that number one conversation. I'll say this: they're gonna win too many games. I don't think they're that good, but if Tennessee ended up with that one, that would also be very interesting. But I don't think a Vrabel-led team will lose enough games to be down there. But I guess before we move on to the actual games, I will say good on the Bears. They've scored a lot of points, and it's looking very optimistic in Chicago. Right? Did they lose both of their running backs in that game?
Yeah, but Herbert's said to be looking a bit better now.
Yeah, Herbert's ankle, him stopping like that and bending, that was disgusting. That was gross.
I'm just saying they lost Herbert and Roschon in that game.
Yep.
Who's even
Deonta Foreman, baby.
He got traded to the Bears?
No, they signed him.
No,
he was one of their signings.
He was there, yeah. That's where I don't know why I thought he was still in Carolina.
My boy, Deonta Foreman.
I like Deonta Foreman, so I'm all for that. And I guess on the other hand, it's interesting to see where the Manders go here. Could you have that game against Philly where you keep it close? We'll say I think they should have went for 2 because they were playing an obviously better team in Philly.
I think everybody would say that.
Yeah, they didn't. They go to overtime, lose to the better team. And then that performance that you had on Thursday night, they're kind of, I don't know what to make of this team. They're kind of in that stack with the Packers where I don't know what to make of them. But one team gets a lot of momentum going forward. And I guess unless somebody else wants to say anything on the game, I'm happy for Justin Fields and DJ Moore. It seems like a game that they needed to have to keep morale up.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything else to add on that game.
I'm glad the Commanders.
Yeah.
It was worth 7 points.
Yeah, I lost 9 points on that game, by the way.
Oh, 7. I wanted to go lower, but confidence shook out that way.
I wanted to go lower when I picked it too, which is why when I made the prediction in the chat, I was like, I don't know how we got here, but I got 9 on the Manders.
Yeah, I think Asian and Aaron put 6 on it.
Yeah, we both put 6.
Well, I do not feel as bad.
Yeah, it sucked. I did not I thought about it and I was like, they might do it, but I was like, I don't think so, and they did it. So I was like, fuck.
Well, and it, at Washington thing, you just don't put Bears in. You don't put Bears and being good on the road together.
Well, yeah, you don't see 40 plus points on the road for a team like Chicago. Like that's just crazy.
Yeah. But moving on, we've given them more than enough time. We got Jack.
We also hit a ton of other topics.
Yeah. I know. Thursday game. We got Jacksonville going to Buffalo to face the Bills.
I'll start. So I got one on the Jacksonville Jaguars, baby. This says it's the Bills' home game on the calendar, but they're going to London.
That's
Where
Jacksonville's
the Jags have
second
played
home.
a bazillion times. Jacksonville has been there since last week. Buffalo has to come in, take that long flight. They're coming off the high of beating the shit out of a division opponent. And, they've played such elite ball that, I feel like a lot of people are going to jump on Buffalo. But I love the Jags in this spot. I mean, they've been in London for a week. They play there all the time. They're not going to be jet lagged from having to be on a plane for 6, 7, 8 hours. Like, I feel like this is the week, if that offense is for real, this is their chance to make a statement game against, a team that I don't think has ever played there.
Mm-hmm.
Or, the conditions are going to be a lot different. And the Bills have looked awesome for the last 3 weeks. I was getting bad vibes off that team. I think
number 2 offense in the league.
Just say I think they've kind of moved past that. Technically number 2 offense, but I mean, let's be real. If Miami don't drop 70, they're probably number 1.
This is true.
Like,
I got 8 on the Bills. I mean, just because, like I just said, they're second in the league in offense. They're kind of starting to click. And when Allen and Diggs click, it's bad. So, I mean, I do like the Jags. Don't get me wrong. I think the whole jet lag may play a little factor, but I think it's going to be just a whooping.
I couldn't agree more. That's why I got 9 on the Bills.
Oh, god damn it. Why is Moop on the Bills train?
What do you mean?
I also have 9 on the Bills.
Oh,
the
god.
Jaguars not look good this year, so I got 9 on the Bills.
Couldn't come over to the Prince's
I
side.
cannot, because I have 8 on the Bills, and I cannot put 8 on the Prince that was promised.
I mean, that Jags defense is not going to be able to keep up with that Buffalo offense. It's just Gabe Davis, Knox, Diggs, Cook, Allen. You have to worry about the quarterback running you over with the back, and like that's just a lot to deal with. And Jacksonville's not anywhere close to being there on defense.
Look. These London games have weird anomalies happening all the time. So we'll see what happens, but I'm willing to put 1 point on one of these weird anomalies happening.
I'll give you the one.
I think the quarterback matchup is about even. Y'all know I'm really high on Trevor.
The weird anomaly is gonna be Latavius Murray being the lead running back this week.
I won't say even, but I will say Lawrence isn't a bum.
Thank you.
I will say that the only way the Bills lose this game is if Josh Allen throws it away like he did week 1.
I mean, I have 8 on the Bills. I mean, they just beat the Dolphins. They're riding high. I know this is a Jacksonville home game, but I mean, I can see it happen, but I'm going to take the hot hand.
Look, I think, and like I said, I think Buffalo is a little, just a smidge overvalued after smearing the Dolphins across the pavement. So, we'll see, but it's definitely a lot more interesting game than Jags-Falcons last week.
I mean, that game was fire.
No, it wasn't.
All I know is I woke up and I was like, damn. The Jags defense looked good and they won pretty handily. That's something that we haven't seen from them all year.
Yeah. I mean, the only good thing about Atlanta was Bijan, so.
Trust me, I have Drake London in my money league, and I'm loaded at receiver in that league.
Too.
I just don't know what to do with them because they want to avoid throwing the ball at all costs.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Atlanta. We got the Texans going to Atlanta to face the Falcons.
I put 7 on Houston here just because they have been looking pretty good lately. And Falcons are hit and miss. I mean, Falcons could easily win this game. But I just don't think they're going to show out. I think Texans will just be a little too much to handle. And CJ is looking extremely well. Definitely the best rookie quarterback of the year.
I got 10 on the Texans. Yeah, I'm riding the hot Stroud hand. I think they were saying if he goes 27 more passes without throwing an interception, he sets the record for most passes ever thrown by a rookie for throwing an interception. Stroud's looked phenomenal. He's like, I don't think his weapons are amazing, but they're getting some separation. He's making them look good. Nico's look good. Tank Dell's look good. They're starting to get Damian Pierce involved. Like, they have a good offense there, and I think it's a young team. It's a away game, so that scares me a little bit. There is a chance that Atlanta could keep it on the ground, but if Houston goes up, I like their chances if they make Atlanta start throwing the ball. So I'm gonna ride the hot hand with the Texans because they're an offense that's dropping a lot of points and they're a lot of fun. So I got double digits on the Texans, which I didn't think I'd say all year.
I have 3 on the Falcons. Who would guess that? I don't think the Texans defense is going to be able to stop a Bijan Algier combo this week. And I mean, the Falcons have been very hit or miss. And I mean, when they do hit, Ritter makes the throws he needs to make, and they just run the ball. That's what they do. And I think they can do that against this team. I mean, they did it against fucking better teams than the Texans, in my opinion, but we'll see. So I'm gonna take a 3-point, put 3 on the Falcons, and my boy, the Riddler, the game manager man.
Who needs bench?
I put 6 on the Texans. Oh man, it hurt to say that, especially since this game has bet implications. Well, not like the game in general, but like on Atlanta in general. I don't want to pick against them, but I just feel like I like the Texans better in this matchup than I do the Falcones. Lately, they've been kind of disappointing to me, in my opinion. And until they move off of Ritter for Heineke, that's the way I'll feel about Atlanta. And I've liked the Texans for like 2 weeks now. So
Can I just ask why you would want to move off Ritter for Heineke? I'm not big on Ritter, but Heineke's definitely not the future in Atlanta. Like I feel like you at least ride the young QB through the season.
I mean, I don't know. I like Heineke with
it's
the
fine.
Commanders.
I just think, also Atlanta has played 3 higher tier teams the last couple weeks. I don't think that losing the last
They played
3.
the Lions, for God's
They
sake.
played the Lions, the Jaguars, and the fucking, who was else? It was another team.
I get that. I just don't think you get any value by moving to Heineke. I feel like you at least ride Ritter this season, see what you got, and then if you don't like it, you go pick up someone else in the draft. And that's the one that's down on Ritter saying that. I just don't see the value of not giving him the season and making a decision afterwards.
Because the writing's on the wall for Riddler, or Ritter,
No, you said it right the
whatever.
first time, the Riddler.
But I got 8 Texans. I mean, the Texans. The writing's on the wall. You stack the box, you stop Bijan, and you make Des try to beat you. He only has 3 passing touchdowns on the year. Hasn't gone above 240 passing yards on the year, and he's just not the greatest NFL QB. I think they know what they have in him, and it's just not their future.
Okay, well. Good luck, Ritter. I'm the only one rooting for you.
Hey,
What's up?
I was gonna say, hey, at least I defended Ritter to the point that I don't think they should be yanking him out.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's very much a thing where you just ride him out for the year. Be his worst case scenario. You're gonna be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes, yeah. But anyway, on to another team in that division. The Carolina Panthers versus the Detroit Lions at Detroit. I got 13 on Detroit. The Panthers are not it. That's it.
Oh boy! I mean, the last 2 games we've had 12 plus sacks. our defense really woken up, especially that pass rush. And like I said, Aiden's going to be chasing that little brother around the backyard. And he's going to get him. And so is the rest of them boys. And if he's not, too careful with throwing, he could throw a few pick sixes easily. And we got Yomo back, and I can't wait to see him torch this defense. But we're probably going to use him like 2 plays, so not really that excited.
That's why he's on my bench, man.
I started him because I'm like, with Amon-Ra St. Brown out, you kind of can't ease him back into it.
The reports say Amon-Ra's still trying to play.
Yeah, he's listed as doubtful right
you
now.
You don't practice Friday, you don't play.
He's logged in a practice on Wednesday. He logged in a partial practice.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you have to practice on Friday to be eligible for Sunday.
It's not an eligibility thing. No,
it's not. Yeah, I was gonna say, but I'm pretty sure
you can go the whole week without practicing and still play.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you had to at least practice for like a day.
No,
like
it's just preferred, or it looks better. Like,
okay,
hey, he logged in a practice.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm actually going to look because I play Amon-Ra this week, so I can tell you. It did change to doubtful. Doubtful.
I mean, yeah, it said he was
doubtful.
Out,
but
even if Amon-Ra doesn't play, I think it's just going to be a bigger Khalif Raymond and Jameer Gibbs day in the receiving department. I also got 13 on the Lions, though.
I will say, yeah, he's going down the chart, which it don't look great. He said won't practice Friday. He logged in a partial practice Thursday. It's looking like he may not play. Looks like it might be the Jamison Williams, Raymond show.
Oh yeah, and Reynolds for sure. Reynolds has stepped up.
I don't know why
Reynolds has stepped up so well. That 6'4" target, Goff is really finding a rhythm with him. Our run game is there. I mean,
that's Moose
we don't
boy.
have to use Gibbs. So that Reynolds is he's a really under the radar receiver for sure. I hope we hold on to him and keep him paid low. So
I'll say this, fantasy wise, I love him if Amon-Ra don't play.
Oh yeah, because
he becomes a must start.
How'd that work out for you, Mook?
Now, to be fair, Amon-Ra played that week.
And Laporta is becoming such a big target for Goff, and he's living up to what he expected out of him.
That's why I don't think Jamison Williams is going to be that big of a threat this week.
Laporta and Reynolds.
Yeah, no, I think Williams has to very much get into the game plan before he is a threat.
And you really might see some ground and pound this week. Who knows?
You asked how it worked out for me. 0 1 week, and then like 9 on my bench the next. I put 13 on this game on the Lions. I'll just put it short and simple. Panthers bad, Lions good.
Love to hear that.
How much did you put on this game, Aaron?
I put 13.
Right.
I was going to put 16.
Asian, I hope you're not about to say you put 13 too, because I also put 13 on this game.
You did.
Yeah, I said I already put 13.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, good job, boys. 13's across the board.
That
always scares me when we're all on the same team.
That's
and
crazy.
The same spot. Yeah, it's just Young hasn't looked good. I mean, part of that is his receivers can't get any separation. Thielen's looked amazing, but imagine that, man. That's a very old, dim, bright spot.
Well,
on
unfortunately, we used
to
see Thielen twice a year, so we kind of know what we have for old man. So,
like I said, he'll probably get you his normal 15. Every other Panther, I'd stay away from. But yeah, 13 on Detroit. Just fingers crossed, don't let me down, Detroit. You've looked great.
That's the only reason I don't get my 16 because it's Detroit.
They were going to get my max, and then I was like, eh.
Who did get... Oh, well, this week it's 15. Who did get my max? Or is it 14?
Yeah, it's 14 this week.
Oh, I did give them my max. No, I didn't. I gave them right
14.
for me. Oh, I see who I gave my max to.
Next.
Bet me and Kuhn gave our max to the same team, actually.
I bet we all did.
Probably. Next up, we got the Tennessee Titans going to Indiana to play the Colts. I'll
Mm-mm.
start us off, I guess. I got 6 on the Colts. The Titans are dog shit, dude. I've been saying this every week. They're the one. This is the one time I've seen D Hop not utilized to his potential. Derrick Henry is getting killed a lot of the time. They just know that they need to stop Derrick Henry. That's really all they need to do to win games. And Richardson looks good. Richardson looks like a hell of a quarterback. That offense is cooking. I think they have a hell of a lot more life in Indiana than they do in the Texans or in the Titans locker room. And also, they might get JT back this week, potentially. So if he comes back, even if he's on a snap count coming back in this week, that is still a dangerous weapon to have.
Oh, for sure. That's
But
why I went with
6 on the Colts.
Indy as well. I'll put 10 on the Colts.
I only went 6 because it's an in-division game.
I
Yeah.
But the
went
Colts
through
are
and just
home.
randomly did confidences, so I might switch that shit up.
I got 2 on the Colts. It's an in-division game. It kind of scares me. I mean, it's hard to get a vibe on the Titans. I mean, they beat down that Browns team, but they had a rookie at quarterback that didn't know he was gonna start until literally, which they're on bye this week, so we can just talk about this. How crazy is it that all week, he's probably Deshaun's like, I'm hurt, but I'm probably gonna play. Then like an hour before game time, he's probably taken a few steps here and there. He's like, oh yeah, I'm not playing. Good luck, rookie. Like he didn't probably get that many reps with the starting team all week.
Sounds like something
Come
that
out,
Winka would do.
yeah, come out looked like he looked, and
The sickening
Tennessee,
part is too is that like the medical doctors cleared him to play. It's just Deshaun didn't
he
want to play
chose
because
not to
he
play.
chose not to play.
It's such a wild, and it's disheartening with how much Cleveland's paying him. Because I mean, what they played Baltimore, I know they played Tennessee last week. That feels like that should have been a very winnable game, but you give Tennessee the ball an extra 3 times, and all of a sudden, you get 27-3
Yeah.
Titans, and
And that defense of Cleveland's been actually playing out of their mind this year.
yeah,
It's
the
okay.
defense is so good. That was the whole reason I picked them on last week's pod.
Cleveland deserves it.
Swarming to the ball, like they're playing just good pass rush, and the offense just it can't produce. If it did, I mean, they'd be one of the top 4 teams in the AFC.
But yeah, I got 2 on the Colts. I always hate going big against Tennessee unless I'm very, very confident because I hats off to Vrabel. I think he's still a hell of a coach. Like, we just seen it when they played the Chargers a few weeks ago. He coached circles around Brandon Staley and won a game he probably shouldn't have won.
They need to put my boy Malik Willis in.
Well, that's my boy.
Yeah, Willis is still there. I mean, it's.
They also have the rookie too.
Will Levis.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to see one of those 2 guys, man. I'm done with Tannehill.
Come in and just start throwing the ball to D-Hop.
Dude, it will happen.
But like I said, I got 2 on the Colts. I like what Anthony Richardson's doing. Even if something happens, I like Minshew being there. They look like they have a good offense. The defense is so, and they got Shane Steichen at coach, right? They got the Philly guy. Them and Arizona got the Philly coordinators and have looked a lot better since getting them than we would think they are. So I like the Colts here, home game, and I got 2 on them.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one who went low on this game. I got 3 on the Colts also. I mean, Tennessee has looked good. The last couple of weeks looked like Derrick Henry got back on track against Cincinnati. So, I mean, anything could happen, but I do like the explosiveness of Anthony Richardson and JT coming back.
Yeah, Asian. This was a game when I was looking at the slate, I was like, ugh, I don't love this game. I was like, because there's a world where Vrabel just comes in and coaches really well and gets the win. And that was kind of in the back of my mind when I was like setting my confidence. I was like, I like Indy, but it's an in-division game. It's probably gonna be a mid-score ugly affair. There's there's a world where it's the Derrick Henry show. There's also a world where Anthony Richardson leads through. I just don't have a good vibe on this game, which is why it's such low confidence.
I'll put one on the Colts. I mean, I could see it going either way, but I like the Colts more here. And after last week, I don't feel like going big on the Colts. Bastards lost in overtime. Yeah, Tennessee really hasn't looked the greatest until last week. And then they started looking like Derrick Henry started looking like Derrick Henry, as y'all pointed out. But I'm kind of a big fan of the Colts. I've been a big fan of the Colts this season for like 2 weeks. Even though I don't think I picked them.
Half of the time, I'm a big fan of the Colts.
They show me that they can ball. Maybe not win, but they show me that they can ball.
Mook, I can tell you have no great upsets this week if this is your 1-point game. Then again, I see why you went low, because I went low. Just saying, we ain't making no 10th this week.
Probably not.
Don't worry, I'll leave that to me. Next up, we got the New York Giants. If you can still call them that, going against Miami Dolphins at Miami.
I'll keep it short and sweet, Coon. This is where all my points went. As Mook would say, Miami good, G-Man bad. So yeah, Miami over the mini people. I got all my confidence on Miami. Hammer it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much to say about this game. I don't think we want to say much about this game. 12 on Miami. Yeah.
But what if Chase Claypool curse transfers to Miami and they lose this game?
Then looks like I'm losing the least amount of us, probably.
Yeah, probably, because I got 14 on the game also. That's it.
I got 11 on Miami.
Well, you literally stole my words. Giants bad, Miami good. I got 14 on Miami.
Listen, if that happens, I'll be very happy for your boy Daniel Dimes, Coon.
The God, Danny Dimes.
You know, if that happens, maybe we finally get that Wandell sighting we've been.
Wandell had a good game last week.
They've been using him more. Like, he looks like he might be a nice stash down. You know.
Yeah, no,
if you were stashing him, you might be paid for your servitude.
Having him in Dynasty doesn't look so bad right
now. I'll say every time I picked up Wandell and put faith in that man, he got hurt. So
yeah,
I'm just kind of, but I want him to do good because I think he's a good receiver on a team that don't have a lot of good receivers.
Mm-hmm. That's a cluster fucking wide receiver room right now.
We can skip the next game.
Moving on, we have the one and only New Orleans Saints going to New England against the Patriots.
Oh, Jesus. Where to begin with this game? New England got embarrassed last week. New Orleans looked absolutely terrible. I don't know if y'all seen, but they forgot they had any receivers and just threw the ball to Kamara 14 fucking times.
As they should.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I can't pick against Bill Belichick in a game where he's coaching against Dennis Allen. I got 5 on New England to get the win at home. Like, I said that I think this Saints team's only winning 6-7 games all year, and I'm standing by that. Like, the offenses look terrible. Defense looks good. Like, I think this might be the ugliest game of the week to watch. Like, this could end 9-6, 12-9, 15-9.
2-0.
If it ended 2-0, that'd be...
You mentioned Kamara getting 13 receptions. Did you hear the stat line on that?
It was like, well, it was like 11 rushes for like 45 yards and 13 catches for 33 yards.
He got 13 receptions for about 30-something yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the lowest in NFL history, yardage wise, that someone's had with 13 plus receptions. You want to guess what the number was before that?
Oh, who would be a spicy name to throw
Oh,
there?
not a name, just the number.
Like 50 yards.
It was 70 yards on 13 catches.
Damn,
I don't know how you can only muster 30 yards on 13 receptions.
Screen passes go Burr.
I mean, yeah, like Tampa looked better than us in every facet of the game. And to be fair, I thought Tampa was winning last week. I think I took them by myself, but I thought New Orleans would at least look competitive. But even with Mike Evans being out, Chris Godwin stepped in. They looked fine. Like it was just the offense looked absolutely terrible. Carr looked like he probably should have sat out the game. Like, they said, "Oh, this man has a broken AC joint or whatever in his shoulder. He wants to play. Let's just will him out there anyways." And man, it was not a pretty game for the Saints last week, and I don't think it'll be a pretty game for the Saints this week. Like, it's just such a huge coaching mismatch. Like, you look at New Orleans should be better on offense. They should be about even on defense. Like the matchup would say take New Orleans, but I just can't take as a Saints fan, I'm looking at Dennis Allen and I'm like, "Oh, you're going to Bill's house and he just got embarrassed in Dallas, so he's going to be pissed." So, that's where I'm at. I got 5 on the Pats to give us that normal common Dennis Allen L.
I got 4 on the Patriots.
I got 2 on the Saints. I mean, I could give it to either team. I just threw it at the Saints.
I got 1 on the Patriots.
I got 5 on the Saints. I agree with what Dean said. But I also say I feel like this is going to be a game of the battle of defenses and the battle of who has the better offense, which I will slightly give the edge to the Saints on that one. With Kimura coming back, I think he'll have a better week this week.
I mean, like I said, this game could easily end 15-9, 12-6. Like this is not going to be a pretty game.
No, it's not good. It's not good. No one's happy with this game. Speaking about games that no one's gonna be happy with, we got the Baltimore Ravens going to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. Asian, take it away.
I mean, after coming off that butt whooping by Houston, I had a feeling it was going to be a trap game. I didn't think we were going to get our asses whooped like that, though. CJ Stroud looks really good. Steelers offense is in shambles. Canada's the most hated man in Pittsburgh. Pickett's not looking like a franchise QB. All that being said, we play the Ravens tough. We always keep it close. I think we split the Ravens this year, and this wouldn't be a game that I'd be surprised if Pittsburgh won. I took Pittsburgh with 1 point, and yeah, I mean, like I said, we played Lamar Jackson in Baltimore really well, so.
Yeah,
So,
I was thinking about going Ravens, but I'm going to switch my confidence and I'm going 1 with Pitt,
yeah, I just
which will
switched
give me 5 with New England.
I just switched my confidence as well. I mean, I still have more than y'all, sadly, but I got 6 on the Steelers.
Sheesh.
I mean, here's
Big
the
dick.
he's missed some games, but you know how many times Lamar Jackson has beat Pittsburgh?
I cannot tell you that stat line.
1 time.
Yes,
Like
Yeah, I knew it
sir.
was something
it's
like
Yes,
that.
sir.
it's the equivalent of like the Bengals can't beat the Browns and
The Browns
No,
can't
he's
beat
you
the
two and
know
Steelers.
three. He's 2-3 against Pittsburgh. I just looked it up.
that might have been a regular season stat or something. I had heard it earlier though, and I was like, really?
Well, you know what?
2-3,
He,
all we missed. Well,
give
regardless of, this is the Steeler Raven rivalry, and I'm putting 6 on Pittsburgh to come out and play this game tough regardless. And I mean, this one's at Pittsburgh, so I think if they're going to win one of the two, this would be the one. So I'm gonna continue to ride Mike Tomlin and the Ravens because there's a lot worse trains I could be on.
I got some fun knowledge that I will bring to your attention, as I like to do with the Steelers. In 2022, last season, they split the series with the Ravens. They have a 33 to 25 record against the Ravens all time, or in the past like 10 years or so, whatever. And the Steelers have won 5 of the last 6 games they play against this team. I put one on the Steelers. Mike Tomlin owns them.
And also, you have to think Lamar in his career against Pittsburgh is 634 yards, 4 TDs, and 6 interceptions. He struggles against them, man.
The Steelers own their division, man.
All right. Well, with that being said, I got 10 on the Ravens. The Ravens have the worst offense in the whole league. Okay, maybe not the worst.
The Ravens?
But no, the Steelers. I said last week that there are 32 teams out there, and the Steelers have the 31 offense, and I still believe that too today. And I think that's going to cost them. So give me the Ravens with 10. I think the Ravens are a better team, a more complete team. Even if they do struggle, I still have the Ravens coming down with the win. I think Mark Andrews will get like 8 touchdowns. Maybe I'm saying that because I own him in every fantasy league, but okay. I don't really think that, but I do hope that he does have a good game, and I do think the Ravens will come away with the win because the Steelers' offense is so awful.
I will say, Asian, I looked into this a little bit. The one of the wins that they're counting is a game that Lamar just sat on the bench and was 0 for 0 for no
Gotcha.
yards.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, the games that he's actually started, he's beat them one time. But one of the losses was one where he just came in and threw one 12-yard pass as well. But yeah, he has historically not played the Steelers good.
Just like the Ravens. And
How
the
much? How
Browns.
much
Someone's
did you
got
put on
that
Baltimore,
number.
Mook? How bad did you fade him?
You put
10.
10. Mook's about to lose 10 points this week.
I mean, they could win. The Steelers, I think their defense is for sure maybe top 5, but I think their offense is so piss poor.
I still think their offense is better than New England.
Look, Mook, if the Steelers win this week, don't worry. We can all send you Mike Tomlin gifts.
Yes, sir!
It's a good week when I don't get those.
I know, like the week that the Cardinals won, you got James Conner ones instead.
I mean, I mostly ignored it. So
That shit was godly.
This week he's gonna get Purdy ones.
Well, he's already backing off of his boy Purdy.
Anyway, yeah. Next up, we got the Philadelphia Eagles, undefeated, going against the Rams in LA.
So it's pretty easy. I'll put 12 on the Eagles.
I didn't want to put as much points on this game as I did because I feel like this game is going to be a lot more competitive than it looks like, especially with the Rams being at home. But I put 10 on the Eagles. I mean,
I got 11 on the Eagles. I don't love it. Cause here's the thing. Well, I'm in two minds about this, right? One, Philly's secondary has been ass, and I think there's a world where Stafford comes out and throws for 300, 400 yards, and this game is very competitive. There's the other side of that token where, after looking good for 2 weeks, that O-line has not looked great, and Stafford has been getting his ass kicked. And Philly comes out there and sacks him 8, 9 times,
He
and
was
we're looking,
limping
we're
after
looking
last game.
at a 31-3 blowout. But I got 11 on the Eagles. I think they win it either way. It's just, do the Rams protect Stafford, and can he get these throws off? Or, it was a lot of like the Monday Nighter where they played against Tampa, where I just kept watching Baker get sacked, and I was like, well, I'm in two minds. Either Philly's D-line shows out, or this game is very competitive because their secondary has not done a lot. But I feel like Philly's a team that can win while working through their issues. So I think they win regardless. I hope this game's close because I think it'd be fun. But yeah, I just don't know what Philly we're gonna get, but I'm confident enough to put 11 on them. And Stafford was limping. I know he got sacked a ton last week. He's got He's got sacked a ton the last 2 weeks.
Well, he's kind of like
Cincinnati.
Romo. I mean, the neck
Cincinnati's
surgeries, the
killed
back
him in the.
surgeries. He's never had a offensive line to protect him, and he's getting old, and he's
Oh,
taken a hell of a beating over the years.
His O-line held good the first 2 weeks. Then they had that game at Cincinnati where they just sacked the shit out of him, and I forgot who they played last week. So I guess the question is now, is that game at Cincinnati just an anomaly? Or and the Rams look okay this week? Or is that O-line kind of fool's gold through the first few weeks and we see him hit the ground 8 times this week? I mean, we're going to find out. Oh yeah, they played the Colts last week, didn't they?
Did.
Did the Colts sack him a lot?
I do not know, but I
I'm
know the Colts.
asking because I generally don't know.
I don't know either.
The Colts sacked him twice.
So, aside from Cincinnati, they've been holding up well. So I guess the question this week on, is just, does that Philly defense get to him a ton of times?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
This is my shooter game of the week. I got 11 with the Eagles, but I do think this will be a high-scoring game. Thinking maybe 45 to 54. I'm taking the Eagles to win this week.
Did you just put the over/under at 100 total points for this game?
I was using it as an example, but yeah, I can see it. Maybe not over 100. That's a little crazy, but like 35, 38 Eagles. Even though I probably shouldn't have 11 on it, but I'm not going against the Eagles. That's all I know.
Mook would be mashing the over.
I mean, I want them to, but I don't think they will.
I got 10 on the Eagles, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what Cooper Kupp and Puka's roles are going to be with Kupp coming back and things like that.
I think they're both gonna eat.
I think Kupp's going to go back to being a top 5 receiver, and Puka's going to be anywhere between the 15 and 20 range.
Yes,
Is
sir.
Kupp confirmed playing this week?
All but confirmed. They've been talking him up. They've been saying he's gonna be good to go. He's been practicing. I mean, look, all signs are good for Kupp right now.
Mook, the over/under for this match is set at 50.5 points. And they said the Chiefs Vikings at 53 points is the only game with the higher over/under in this week. So I mean, Mook would be mashing the fucking over on this game.
Yeah. Well.
Oh well. That's what I'm feeling. A high-scoring game.
Everybody said their piece.
Yeah, we can talk about your boys now.
Oh God. Okay. We got
and Mook's fantasy quarterback this week.
The Cincinnati Bengals going to Arizona to play the Cardinals, which that's kind of nice. We're home. I'm gonna be honest here. I don't have a good feeling about this game at all. The Bengals like to start slow every year, and then they come back. And our team is exactly a team that they would be like, you know what? We're not losing to those fucking trash birds. And I think that Jamar Chase, frustrated, if you saw the interview, he was like, I'm always open. He's getting frustrated. I think him and Burrow are about to link up this week. I think they're about to expose a weak secondary that we have. and beat us. I think we're losing this week. As much as I want to take my Cardinals, I just have a gut feeling that we're about to get absolutely torched over the top. I might be competitive, but I put 4 points on the Bengals. Yeah.
So y'all gonna think I'm crazy. I put 8 on the Cardinals. I hope Kuhn's wrong. It's more an indictment of Cincinnati. Like, Arizona's looked good. I never thought I'd be putting 8 on them this season, but here we are. I just think that Burrow, he's trying to get healthy, but he can't throw the ball downfield. I don't know how they're going to beat Arizona at the top when Burrow's having trouble throwing it over 10 yards down the field. I mean, I feel like at this point, he's hurt. They should probably sit him for the bye week. I mean, let him get healthy, see if they can make a run, but I love Arizona in this spot. I just can't trust Cincinnati with how they've looked so far, with how they're playing. And aside from that game with the Rams where they were just throwing a bunch of dink and dunk 5-yard passes, it has not been a good season for the Bengals, and Arizona looks very competitive, so I'm taking 8 on the home team. Give me 8 on the Cardinals.
I'm putting 2 on the Bengals. Bengals just like we all know have not looked good. I don't think Joe Burrow gets healthy until after the bye week, and the Bengals just aren't scoring points. They have the second lowest total points in the league, only in front of the New York Giants.
Yeah, I threw in the Bengals, and that's it.
I've got 2 on the Cardinals.
God
Like
damn
I
it,
said.
Mook. You wouldn't let me ride Coon's Cardinals alone.
I
No,
got 2
no.
on the Cardinals.
Oh, I thought you said the Bengals.
No, I got 2 on the Cardinals. If I said Bengals, my bad.
This is
Might have
also my
just heard it wrong.
survivor pick.
Arizona's your survivor pick?
Yeah, I feel like I had to go with the bad team this week.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, spicy.
Yeah, Cincinnati just hasn't looked good. Like you said, Burrow being hurt while playing, just I don't know. Y'all bring up good points, and I'm just gonna piggyback off that. To be honest, so
Like I
I
said,
have
oh, go
2.
ahead. I think Cincinnati is still a great team, but I think that team goes as far as Burrow carries them. And I think willing him out there, having him play hurt, with the chance of maybe messing something up more is just not great for him, and that's just kind of where my stance is at.
Did everybody go?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I didn't hear.
Oh, this is the shooter game of the week.
This
baby.
is a game of the week. I do agree. We got the New York Jets going to Denver to face the Broncos. I'll just keep mine short and sweet because I don't have much to say about this game. I put 5 on the Jets.
Yeah, I got 4 on the Broncos. It's more just, I mean, Russell's looked better under Sean Payton than he did last year, at least. The Here's the thing: Denver's putting up points. The offense is not why they're losing these games. Their shitty defense is why they're losing these games. And while the Jets have a great defense, I'm saying that Denver can still probably, I'm thinking, gonna put up 14-20. And I just don't know if the Jets can do that. Like, I feel like they did last week, but I mean, it was prime time. All eyes were on them. It was the Chiefs. It was Sunday night. And, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe Zach Wilson comes in and lights it up, lights this shitty defense up, and maybe throws, 2 or 3 TDs to Garrett Wilson and they get a dub, but
Listen,
I'm gonna
Donna Kelsey, unless Donna Kelsey's at the game, Zach Wilson is not playing that good, okay? You only play that good for one old lady, and that sweetheart right there, that's the old lady, okay?
I'm just all I'm saying is that's why I got 4 on Denver, and I'm fading Zach Wilson. I'm saying that that Russ is, like he has went back to being a solid B tier quarterback this year, and they're putting up points. And I think Denver's shitty defense doesn't let Zach Wilson score enough points to win the game. So I got 4
honestly,
on the Broncos.
I went 9 with the Jets because of that defense.
I was gonna say it's not just a shitty defense; it's a historically bad defense,
Hey, well,
historically bad.
you heard it from McFistpump. Zach Wilson ain't gonna be able to take advantage of it.
I'm rooting for Zach Wilson this week after last week because
I'll say this:
I don't know if you saw the clip about that fucking interviewer trying to make that one dude talk shit about Zach Wilson and completely dunking on him. But after that, I'm like, I'm rooting for Zach Wilson now.
I'll say this: if there was ever a week for Zach Wilson, this is the week. I'll say this: I've heard of people starting Zach Wilson in fantasy because of the matchup. So I don't want to watch this game, but this matchup is fascinating in many ways.
Well, McFistpump, you're lucky because Donna Kelsey doesn't even have to be at the game because it's not even going to be a Zach Wilson game. I'm calling the Brees Hall coming out party. No more snap counts supposedly for him, and I put 5 on the Jets.
I like that.
I like that as well. Do y'all remember watching Week 1 and they just ran it down Buffalo's throat, gave the ball to Brees Hall, gave the ball to Dalvin, and it's just been a very quiet run game since then.
The Broncos are averaging giving up at least 22 fantasy points to opposing running backs. So yeah, I just think it's going to be a big Brees Hall game.
Yeah, I think both Brees Hall and Cook are both going to have a game. It's going to be
I think with that defense, there's a lot of games that this Jets team could win by handing off to Brees Hall, Dalvin, and just having Zach throw the ball like no more than 20 times. Because here's the thing, this is their easiest game in weeks. The first 6 weeks of the schedule were brutal for the Jets. I think we'll be seeing a lot more Jets W's after their bye when they're getting easier teams than Kansas City and Buffalo and
Dallas.
And yeah, they've literally played Buffalo,
Dallas?
Kansas City, Dallas, and freaking the Patriots, who they never beat. So I think we'll be seeing a lot more optimism from the Jets as the schedule winds up and gets a little easier for them.
I put 4 on the Jets for this game. I think that their defense will win them this game, and this is my reverse shooter game of the week.
How's this the reverse shooter game of the week, bro? You have the Saints and the Patriots looking at you right there.
Yeah, you do. That's field goal city. I mean, if you have the Pats kicker or Blake Grupp, you're looking at maybe another 10, 12-point week. I've had Blake Grupp in both of my leagues, and that man gets me 10 almost every week, and I'm like, you know what? For a kicker, I'll take it.
You know what? You got a point. This is my second. I'd like to throw on the record that the Saints and Patriots are my first reverse shooter game of the week. Yeah.
Mook, I will say, this is a sad stat, but I played you in fantasy last week, and Blake Grupp was my third highest scorer on the whole team with his 10 points.
That is pretty sad. But yeah, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, moving on. Thank God. Oh wait, this is a game. I forgot this was a game. We got the Kansas City Chiefs going to Minnesota against the Vikings. And I found out where my 14 was because it's right on Kansas City.
Yeah, I haven't talked to my Vikings advisor yet.
I don't think you need an advisor for this one.
But well, I always ask him how we're feeling about the Vikings this week, and I haven't done it yet, but mostly because I've been busy. But I got 12 on Kansas City. I mean, honestly, Mook said Philly Rams. I think this is a shooter game of the week. Like, because here's the thing, Jefferson's gonna get his. Like, I don't think Minnesota wins, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. But I'm not taking Kirk Cousins in a battle with Patrick Mahomes. So I got 12 on KC.
Rate my brother, because
Good.
I also 12 on the Chiefs. I can see this game being close, but I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I don't think Minnesota's really that great. They end up playing to their opponent, in my opinion. The NFC's Chargers, and I do think that the Chiefs. I don't know if I want to say they steamroll them, because I honestly don't think the offense is as good as it was last year or the year before.
For who?
Chiefs.
I'll say this: if you think Kansas City's biggest problem is their offense, that just tells you how scary of a team they are.
I will be putting 11 points on my partner's new favorite team, the Kansas City Swifties. I mean, the Swifties fans just won't let Kansas City lose this game. So,
Bro.
there you go.
I've got 14 on KC.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say now
Well,
we can talk about probably the biggest game of this week in the NFC
Main event.
since the year's been going.
we got the Dallas Cowboys going to San Francisco against the Niners. Mookie, how is this game gonna go?
We can call this the battle for Mook's heart. The team that he
Well,
says is the best in the NFL, and his team that is also pretty good.
well, I hope we don't shit the bed. I have San Fran winning with 3 confidence. I don't really like it. I think Dallas's offense is kind of slow, and I love our defense though. Whenever they play, when they don't play, we're just fucking shit all around. While the Niners, I feel like, are the more complete team. I do think that if our defense shows up, they could lose, but I'm still thinking that the Niners are the most complete team in the NFC and probably the most complete team overall. I do think Brock Purdy will struggle a little bit, but where I think that they'll excel is through Christian McCaffrey. He's probably the number one halfback in all the league, and we seem to have trouble stopping the run. So I think this is going to be a huge Christian McCaffrey day, maybe even bigger than last week.
Can't get much bigger than last week, brother.
Yeah.
My score is 17-28 San Fran. And yeah, that's it. I think we'll lose. I would love to be wrong, and I would love for us to win, but I just don't think we will.
Alright, well, I'll go. I didn't want to put this many points on this. I wanted to keep this game around the 6-point margin, but it's at 9. And I have 9 points on the Cowboys. Yeah, I said that. I think San Fran is the most complete team in the NFL. But the thing is, the Cowboys always seem to have San Fran's number in the normal season. A lot of the time. It's actually crazy. I was looking at it. They've won a lot of normal season games against San Fran as opposed to postseason games. And I want to see Purdy throw it. And I think Dallas is going to have to make him throw it more. I mean, Purdy looks good. I think Purdy's good. But I want to see him have to be the guy to carry that team for a week. And I think that's what we're going to have to, what we're going to find out this week. And I think Dallas's defense, I think they're going to stop them. And I have the score 20-17. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a very defensive game.
So I put 3 on the Cowboys.
Damn!
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as Coot. I think that's going to be Purdy's biggest test yet. It's in Sunday night. It's in prime time. And I think, Dallas is coming off of beating the shit out of New England. Like, they got embarrassed at Arizona. Came out, looked good. I think they're looking ahead to this game. I think, like I said, I think this is going to be Purdy's biggest test. He's looked good, and I want to see what happens if Dallas goes up early and if there's any panic in that team. But yeah, I'm kind of with Kuhn on this one. This just feels like if San Fran is going, I don't think anyone thinks they're going undefeated. So I just happen to think if they were going to lose one, why not the Cowboys?
If this was
So
postseason, 100% taking San Fran.
I got 3 on Dallas with the final score of 24 Cowboys.
I've got 9 on San Fran. They're very dominant all around. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that.
I don't know how I ended up with 12 on San Fran, but I'm changing it right now. I'm putting I'm putting 12 on Buffalo Jacksonville, and I'm going to go with 9 on this game
On who?
with the 49ers. And I have this score as a shootout, 30-28, no defense.
I did not think it was going to be me and Caleb on the Cowboy train.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I had San Fran picked. Then when Mook picked the Niners, I was like, you know what? We're riding the Cowboys this week.
Fucked up. Why do you always go like? Why do you always?
If it makes you
Fucked
feel any
up.
better, I had the Cowboys from the jump.
Mook. Well, I thought about it, and Kuhn made some good points, so it also compelled me over.
Yeah, but that's not what you said.
It's not too late to switch, Mook, if you want to join us.
Yeah, I'll stick with them even if you jump over, Mook.
I like the Niners here.
You feel.
I mean, I'd be happy to lose 3 confidence.
Oh man, but yeah, that's crazy.
I am glad that somebody else went low confidence with me.
Well, I went 9 on the Cowboys.
I know
My
the rest
score
of
was
y'all,
also
all 3 of y'all
35-24
went 9, and
Niners.
I mean I love San Fran, but I feel like this is besides from Philly, maybe the 2 best teams in the NFC. Like I feel like it's hard to put a lot of
And
confidence
Detroit.
either way. And Detroit, yeah, Detroit's right there as well.
But yeah, no, I didn't want to put a lot of confidence on this game. It's just how it fell.
Just how it shook out.
But this next game, I wanted to put a shit ton of confidence on.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why are we subjected to keep seeing the fucking Raiders in prime time? Like, what did we do? They didn't make any big pickup or anything. At least with the Jets, I'm like, okay, you thought you were getting Aaron Rodgers and stuff. Vegas, I'm like, why? Like,
Because they got Jimmy
make
G.
It make sense, Coon. Make it make sense.
They got Jimmy G, the big pickup.
Is he even playing this week? Because he didn't play last week.
I don't know. It don't matter. I put 11 on the Packers. The Raiders are dog shit. Their organization is crumbling on the inside. If Jimmy G plays, I still don't care. If he doesn't play, oh God help them. They might not make it through a whole 4 quarters of football. I have the score 27-17. Those 17 points are because of Davante Adams and fucking Josh Jacobs.
Can I just say the rookie they played last week didn't look terrible.
All I know is the Raiders.
I'll say this: he threw that pick that costed him the game, but I mean now they were playing the Chargers, who's notorious for blowing games. But the rookie they played last week didn't look bad. I don't know his name exactly.
I don't know either. But yeah, love it on the Packers.
Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and go then since I've been talking. I got 7 on the Packers. I don't know how to feel about this game. The Raiders are the Raiders. It's Davante Adams, I mean, you have the running back. I always forget his fucking
Josh
name.
Jacobs, baby.
Yeah, you got Josh. You got weapons there. I still don't know what to make of the Packers. They're like the oddest team in the NFL to me. I got the score being 17-10. I feel like, Love does not have a high completion percentage, but he's made good throws when he's had to. Yeah, this pick is more just me saying I just think the future's brighter in Green Bay right now than it is in Vegas. But I'm not shocked if Vegas wins this game, so I mean I couldn't bring myself to go more than 7. Weird Monday nighter. Very weird Monday nighter, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, we have some shitty primetime games lined up. Don't worry.
I also got 7 on the Packers, and I had the score 24-15. 5 field goals from the Raiders.
Devontae Adams kicked them all.
Yeah, Adams don't get in the end zone for you this week.
No, but I wouldn't be surprised if he had like 12 receptions for 100 yards or something like that. But no end zone.
I've got 8 points on the Packers. I think the Raiders are doo-doo, and I think the Packers are decent. I have the score being 24-14, and that's pretty much all I want to say.
I have 2 on the Packers, with the score being 24-10.
Why is it when I search up Raiders Chargers stats, they give me games from fucking last year?
Because those are the only ones that matter.
Okay, here we go.
I also didn't have a most and least scored. The deadline had already passed. I pulled an Asian from like a week or 2 ago.
Apparently, I had Denver, which is just wrong because I picked against them as the most scoring points, and the Raiders are my least scoring points. So
I have most as Miami and least as Carolina.
The guy that played last week was named Aiden O'Connell, and he was 24-39 for 238 and no TDs and an interception.
Carolina scoring the least and Kansas City scoring the most.
I will
Well,
say
Aiden O'Connell couldn't get anything going because Khalil Mack had like 17 sacks that game.
well, it was the Chargers, so it still ended up being a one-score game. We'll say, Agent, in your defense, though, Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams both had 8 receptions for 81 and 75 yards, which is, for fantasy, that's still good.
And that was after Adams went out for like the whole second quarter because of a shoulder injury.
I'll say this: if you are a Josh Jacobs owner, you love seeing it last week because he carried the ball 17 times.
yes,
Not
sir.
a touchdown. He got a TD and 58 yards, so it didn't like the greatest, but 17 carries and another 8 receptions for 81 yards. I don't know what he got, but it had to have been like 25 or something.
I was gonna say, if I remember correctly, too, he had a lot of receptions that game, which was not typical for Jacobs.
Him and Devontae both had 8, so Kuhn, you played him. What did he get? 25?
I don't remember. It was in the 20s though.
Yeah, I was gonna say 17 carries and 8 receptions. That's what you like to see. As far as for most and least, with fewest, I agree with Aaron. I went Carolina, and for most, I went spicy and continued to fade the Falcons because I picked the Texans.
If I could pick 2 today, I'd probably go with Philly and the Patriots in a 0-2 game with the Saints, at least.
See?
Oh
Well,
man,
that's all the games, boys. Anything else you'd like to add?
Mook, I hope your Survivor pick plays out for you. Like I love Arizona this week. I don't know if I would have loved them for Survivor, but I'll be real. If I made a pick, it would have probably been Detroit. That would have probably been my Survivor pick this week.
Yeah.
Jamal Adams comes back and then he gets out with a concussion.
I wanted to save Detroit for
Oh yeah,
later.
Jamal Adams did come back and got injured again.
It would be pretty cool for Survivor if the Cards did win and the Lions and Miami lost, because that would be 80% gone.
I will say, y'all, next week, I know what the Monday Nighter is because me and Mook go to Monday Night Raw next week. And he told me, he was like, bro, the Cowboys are going to be playing while I'm watching Raw. He's like, that's ass.
Who do they play?
The Chargers on Monday
Oh, you
night.
should not care about that game.
It'd still be nice to watch my team.
No deal.
Yeah, Mook. I mean, dude, last year when we went to Raw, I got to see the Cowboys Philly Sunday Nighter, and as Philly was scored, I got to go.
So annoying.
And he was like, "You're so fucking annoying."
I mean, next week we also have KC versus who was it?
Yeah, that's the Thursday night game.
Yeah,
The Broncos.
the Broncos. Oh God.
Then your Sunday night game is the Giants at the Bills.
That last year's Monday night game was the Chargers and Broncos. I think it went to overtime. I think the Chargers won, but
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Every time Philly got like 8 or 9 yards, I'd come across the field, and then I would start singing "Fly Eagles Fly."
Damn.
It was glorious. But yeah, that's all that I really have.
Alright, well, I think we can call it there then. It was fun, y'all. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye!
why?
Mooks the Yomo.